So if you just stopped right now and tried to hum the last song you heard, maybe on the bus or a song playing in a store, the chances are extremely high that it was pop music.
Yeah, we are completely surrounded by it.
We are. But what exactly makes a song popular? Is it just luck? Or is there a real repeatable science behind making a hit?
Oh, it's definitely a science. And that science, it really relies on structure and strategy. Today, we're breaking down the history, the exact blueprint, and the incredible digital tech that builds the music you listen to every single day.
Our mission is pretty simple. We are going to try and reverse engineer a pop hit.
Uh-huh.
We want to figure out the essential ingredients producers use to make sure that hook gets stuck right in your head.
So to start, let's just nail the definition. Pop music. It
Yeah.
comes directly from the word popular. Its main goal is, well, it's pretty straightforward. Mass entertainment.
Right.
Started taking its modern shape in the mid-1950s, mostly in the US and the UK. And unlike other genres, pop is built to reach the biggest possible cross-cultural audience.
And you can see that goal in its most famous constraint, which is the length. Most pop songs are right around 3 minutes long. Why exactly 3 minutes?
That length is absolutely intentional. Historically, it was the perfect sweet spot for radio.
Ah, for radio programmers.
Exactly. It was short enough to play a lot and keep you engaged without, taking over the whole broadcast. And today, 3 minutes is ideal for short video platforms and streaming. Just keeps things moving fast before you get a chance to skip.
Okay, let's unpack that structure. Because if a song is only 3 minutes, the producer really doesn't have time to mess around.
None at all.
They use these simple, repeating, and really catchy structures. The music doesn't want you to study it, it wants you to just instantly get it.
And that relies almost entirely on the hook. This is probably the single most important part of the song. It's a short, clever, musical idea
Oh,
or a lyric that hits you hard.
and it's made to get stuck in your head.
It's specifically engineered to replay in your brain long after the song stops. It's the part you hum without even thinking about it.
So once they've got you with that hook, they use the classic roadmap. The verse-chorus structure. The verse is where the story happens.
Right. It gives you new details each time. It sets the scene, builds up some tension.
But the chorus is the payoff.
The chorus is the big payoff. It's the main message, the repeating part. And producers make sure the chorus is often the loudest, the most exciting part of the entire track. It's the central idea, just delivered with maximum impact.
And just when you're getting comfortable with that repetition, they throw in a bridge.
It's a brilliant little trick. The bridge is a section that just changes everything up. The melody, the mood. It's a little detour.
She set your attention.
Exactly. It adds variety before dropping you right back into that big final chorus.
And that simple layout is why you can sing along to a new song after hearing it just once.
Yeah. And producers spend so much time on the transitions between these sections. They want it to be totally smooth, so you never even think about losing interest or, hitting skip.
So we've got the mechanics of a hit. But a song is nothing without the star. How did this idea of the global pop star even start?
Well, the idea of a global pop idol, this persona that's bigger than the music itself, that really kicked off in the 1950s and early 60s, you
Yeah.
have to think about the arrival of someone like Elvis Presley or the Beatles.
Right, they weren't just musicians, they were these huge cultural symbols. Before them, teenagers pretty much listened to the same music as their parents.
Ah.
These new idols were the face of a separate, independent youth culture. It was something that felt a little dangerous and totally their own.
And musically, they were revolutionary. They were blending all these different styles, rhythm and blues, country, rock and roll, and mixing it into this fresh new sound.
And then came the British invasion, with the Beatles arriving in America. That showed everyone that music wasn't just fun, it was a massive global business.
Oh, yeah. We're talking tours, movies, merchandise, lunchboxes, everything. Their blueprint is basically how celebrities make money today.
And that all accelerated in the 1980s, which is when the visual side of things really took over.
All thanks to MTV. Suddenly, a catchy song wasn't enough. You had to have a strong visual to go with it.
And that's where you get artists like Michael Jackson and Madonna. They used music videos as like short films. They had choreography, stories, huge budgets.
And that instantly made fashion a major part of pop. You'd see Madonna in some iconic outfit, and every fan immediately wanted to copy that style. The visual image became non-negotiable.
Which, of course, continues today. It's just that instead of MTV, it's platforms like YouTube and Instagram that let artists share these visuals with billions of people instantly.
Okay, so let's pull back the curtain on how those sounds are actually made today, because the visual is nothing without the audio. Modern pop is less about a band playing live in a room and much more about creation in a digital lab.
That's right. It all runs on software. digital production using something called a DAW, a digital audio workstation.
Which is basically an entire recording studio inside a laptop.
Exactly. And producers use them to layer hundreds of individual sounds, create these complex beats. It goes way beyond what you could do with traditional recording.
And one of the key tools for that layered sound is the synthesizer. Synthesizers are machines that create electronic sounds.
So they can sound like real instruments, but they can also make sounds that no real instrument could ever make.
Precisely. All those deep pulsing basses, the bright artificial sounds. So much of modern pop is defined by synthesizers.
And then there's the tool everyone's heard of, auto-tune.
Yeah, yes. Auto-tune.
A lot of people think it's just for cheating, but it's actually a pitch correction tool. It digitally finds a note that's a little bit flat or sharp and just nudges it to the perfect pitch.
But what's really interesting is how that tool became its own artistic style. If you use it heavily, you get that robotic, pitch-shifted vocal effect you hear all the time.
So it's less about hiding mistakes and more about a specific sound.
Exactly. It's like Photoshop for your voice. It can perfect something, or it can deliberately distort it for effect.
Another technique that bridges the old and new is sampling.
Right, which is the art of taking a small piece of music, a drum beat, a vocal line from an old song, and digitally putting it into a brand new one.
It's like a musical collage.
Totally. You might hear a beat from a 70s funk track driving a modern dance hit. It's a way to pay respect to the past while pushing the sound into the future.
And even with all this digital tech, two traditional instruments are still absolutely vital.
The bass and the drums.
The bass guitar gives you that deep, low rhythm that you don't just hear, you actually feel it.
It's that rumble in your chest, yeah. And the drums set the actual speed, the BPM beats per minute.
And here's a great fact. A lot of the world's biggest dance tracks are all around 120 BPM.
They are. And there's a reason for that. Research shows that 120 BPM is the best tempo for dancing. It actually matches the average human heart rate when we're running or moving around energetically.
So it feels naturally energetic.
It does.
And all this digital power means you don't need $1 million studio anymore. Producers can create massive hits right from their own bedrooms.
Which is totally democratized who gets to create pop music. And that leads us straight to the global side of things.
Yeah.
Pop is this incredible universal language.
Yeah, it really travels across borders. The charts are way more diverse now than, say, 10 years ago when it was all US and UK artists.
Absolutely. Now we see huge global movements like K-pop from South Korea,
which has this massive following because of its super polished production, the complex dances, the visual storytelling.
And we also hear influences from Latin pop and African rhythms like Afrobeats, constantly shaping global hits.
And the internet is what drives all that. A song from a small studio in Seoul can become a global hit thousands of miles away, almost overnight.
Which forces local traditions to mix with mainstream pop, creating all these new hybrid genres.
Which raises a good question. If the lyrics are in Korean or Spanish, why do millions of people who don't speak the language still love the song?
Because the structure, the emotion in the delivery, that 120 BPM beat, it's all universal enough that it breaks through the language barrier. It's the feeling that matters.
So let's talk about the listener, because you, the listener, have completely taken over the industry.
You really have. We moved from buying CDs to using streaming services like Spotify and Apple Music, and that changed everything.
So instead of owning a few albums, you now have access to millions of songs instantly, and you build your own playlists.
And those services use these complex mathematical formulas, algorithms, to suggest new music to you.
They're like little detectives, right?
Yeah, they analyze everything you've ever liked or skipped, and then find other songs that have a similar sonic DNA, the same tempo, the same kind of voice.
That's why your friend's suggested playlist can look totally different from yours.
But that creates a huge challenge for the artists. If you can skip a track in 1 second.
Instantly.
The song has to be incredibly compelling in its first 5 or 10 seconds to stop you from just moving on.
The pressure for that instant hook is higher than it's ever been.
And that instant reaction really matters, because streaming data is what decides which songs top the charts now. But even bigger than streaming are social media platforms like TikTok.
Oh yeah, they are the most important place for music discovery today. A short, catchy video clip, a dance, a funny skit can go viral in days and shoot a song to #1 globally.
What's really wild is that artists and producers are now writing songs with specific parts just designed to be clipped for a 15-second TikTok video.
They're reverse engineering the song for social media.
Completely.
Yeah.
And that means the power to decide what becomes a hit has officially moved. It's not the big record executives anymore.
It's you. Your individual likes, your shares, your watch time. That's the voting system for the music of tomorrow.
And often, those hits are delivered by groups. Let's talk about boy bands and girl groups.
Groups like the Spice Girls, One Direction, or BTS. They're often put together by managers looking for members with different personalities.
Right, you have the edgy one, the cute one, the powerhouse singer. It creates this team dynamic that fans can connect with.
And their signatures are those synchronized dance moves and the vocal harmonies where they all sing together.
It creates this really full, rich sound and an incredibly loyal fan base.
And that loyalty is so important. Pop music doesn't just create songs, it creates culture.
It really does.
A singer wears a certain jacket and it sells out instantly. Pop music influences the slang we use, the dances we do.
And artists also use that huge platform to talk about important issues like the environment or social justice.
Hmm.
Pop is so visible. It's a powerful tool for spreading ideas. It brings people together at festivals and parties where everyone knows the words to the same song.
So if you look at the whole picture, pop music is this constantly evolving, really strategic product. It's built on that clever structure, that advanced technology, the global exchange, and most importantly, on fan choice.
Right. The genre is fundamentally built on finding the sound of the moment. It will just keep evolving as new generations find new tools and new ways to express their voices. And you will be the ones deciding what those sounds are next year.
Good luck with your studies. See you next time.